Let's take a look at Avid's Playbooks. This is one of the most powerful tools inside of Avid because it sits on top of all of the other tools that are pulling your data together and aggregating it together, visualizing what's happening inside of your fundraising program, looking at what's working and what's not. And Playbooks ultimately sits on top to recommend what should you do next, and ultimately helps you create and deploy campaigns in order to grow your giving and grow revenue. So let's take a quick look at Avid Playbooks and how it can work for you. When you click on the Playbooks tab and you come here to the Playbooks landing page, you'll find recommendations of key plays to go run inside of your program. You'll see those running across the top of your screen. If you scroll down below, you'll see your whole catalog of different plays you can run. You can see the plays that you have run, that you have set up, or the campaigns you've generated, or you can see again the full catalog of all the different types of plays or campaigns that are available to you inside of Avid. Let's go through the setup process for one of these types of campaigns. We're going to choose a high urgency fundraising campaign. I'm going to go ahead and click the start button and dive in. You'll see some exciting things along the way. Number one, it wants you to enter a name of the campaign. So we'll just say my high urgency campaign. And a high urgency campaign could be something related to year-end fundraising. It could be something you do at the end of your fiscal year. It could be a specific campaign that you run in the springtime or in the fall where you have a clear deadline, you have a clear goal, you're trying to drive urgency around the goal and the deadline and activate donors. So we're going to give it a name, and then we're going to set the end date of the campaign. You can always toggle this to build your campaign based off of a start date or an end date. But especially a campaign like this, it's always helpful to choose the end date and then work backwards with your various campaign assets. So let's say we want this campaign to finish on July 25th. That's going to be my end date of the campaign, the ultimate deadline that we're going to drive urgency towards. Now it's going to walk you through a few different prompts and questions where we want to know, what's the particular need of the campaign? Who are the audiences that you're going to be targeting? What's the value proposition of the campaign? Why should someone choose to give of their hard-earned cash and give it to you, ultimately to make some sort of impact? Now, you can go manually drop in all your campaign creative here, but you can also have Avid take the first step, and it's going to go look at everything that it knows about you, from your website to previous assets that you've created, all the information you've given to Avid in the past, and it's going to go take a first attempt at putting together sort of your campaign brief, if you will. So the AI tools are running behind the scenes and generating this first attempt. Now, as you can see, Avid has filled out these fields for you, but you can always jump in here and make some changes and some tweaks, and it's going to create better content for you. It's going to create a better campaign for you, the more detail and nuance that you can provide it up here on the strategy step. We're going to hit the next button and move on. Here you'll find a list of all the recommended channels that Avid thinks that you should actually have active inside of this campaign. You'll notice it's not just a few emails and a donation page. To run an effective high urgency campaign, you also need Facebook ads or meta advertising. You might need some Google performance ads. You might have some prospecting emails, reaching out to brand new audiences with email, trying to activate them. So you see all the list of various different channels here. Some of these are going to be required. You can't have a high urgency campaign without a donation page, so you can't turn that one off. The others are optional. You might say, well, we're not ready to send any text messages out. We're not going to do any prospecting emails, so you can modify your channels as you go. We'll hit the next button, and what we're going to try to do before we actually go generate all the creative for all your different campaign assets is lock in what we would call the central narrative. In this case, the central narrative of your campaign is on your donation page. That's the central point where you're driving all of your traffic to in order to understand why they should give and ultimately make a donation. So Avid has created the first draft of your donation page. Now you can go edit your headline. You can go edit all of your body copy, your call to action copy as well. You can also do some more interesting things down here. You might say, oh, well, I want the copy to be a little bit shorter or a little bit longer or focus on this theme and not that theme. You can enter in some customized prompts here to ask Avid to go regenerate the copy based on how you think it should be created. But you can also drill in and say, why don't we test a different approach? Why don't we apply maybe a behavioral psychology theory or concept? What if we leaned into confirmation bias? What if we leaned into credibility inside of our copy? So you can choose any of these different psychology concepts and say regenerate. And now what Avid is going to do, it's going to use that concept or even potentially a specific writing framework to go modify and update your copy so you can lock in that central narrative of your campaign. And you can see right before us, it's regenerated the page. Now I really like where it's at. I'm going to go ahead and hit the done button. Once we have the central narrative locked in, this is where the magic really starts to happen. You can see all the different assets that we need to create for our campaign. And if you were to sit down and do this manually, this might take you hours to days to weeks or longer to create all of the different creative and then go through the approval process and get feedback and make tweaks and changes and modifications. Add into that all the various segmentation and personalization. It takes hours upon hours upon hours to create a campaign like this. But with Avid, the campaign is built for you. Now you can see in a matter of seconds, Avid has created all of the copy for all of the various channels and assets that you need to go run a highly effective, high urgency campaign. Now you can still do a lot here. You can go click into any single one of these. You can go modify the copy. You can see what it's written, change your sender names, your subject lines, your body copy for the email. In the same way that we tweaked our central narrative for the campaign, you can go modify and tweak each individual asset as well. So you can go review all of the information here, but now all of it is created and done for you. The final step here is to actually go deploy all of these assets out and actually go run your campaign. All you have to do is click this little checkbox to select all of your different assets, and you can hit the button that says deploy. Now it's going to walk you through a series of steps to go make sure that all of these creative assets get deployed to the right places. So you might have some emails that you're setting up in your MailChimp account, and Avid can actually go over to MailChimp and set up your email for you. For the other types of assets that we don't have a direct connector to yet, you can actually go export all of your copy to a Google Doc where you can go edit it and modify it, share it with others on your team, and go refresh all of your creative even once you make changes. Avid can also go set up your ads inside of Facebook, so it turns Facebook into purely a deployment engine. It's all set up for you. You've just got to go add your budget and click the deploy button, and you're ready to go run your campaign. The purpose of Avid is not just to be a great reporting tool, which it certainly is, but it's to help you turn data into action. And the Playbooks module sitting on top of all your performance helps you understand where should we go next, what should we do next, and helps you get campaigns out the door in no time. So you can focus your time and your energy and your efforts on the most important things, building relationships, thinking about your strategy, where you're going in the future, thinking about organizational health, all of those good things that we rarely have time for when we spend all of our time in the creative. So make sure that you jump into Playbooks and go give a test run, running a campaign, setting up all your creative, giving it some prompts to go tweak and modify the copy, and even deploying out to your various channels.